Last week, the Detroit Lakes City Council approved allowing the city to co-sign or be the government sponsor on a grant to try to get a Parks and Recreation grant money from the Department of Natural Resources and put that money towards the Detroit Mountain Recreation area. And they also agreed to pay $300,000 towards the project. Detroit Mountain has been a big issue around here for a long time. Many people have fond memories of skiing there. And now this Detroit Mountain Recreation Area group has a government agency that is working with it to possibly bring back the mountain, as well as add mountain biking trails, hiking, and camping opportunities on that 200-acre site. Now, just because, though, the City Council has approved this, doesn't mean they wrote a check and doesn't mean this is a done deal. In fact, this is step one in the journey. It was an important step. Without this, without the city's involvement, this was dead in the water. It wouldn't work. So what's the next step? Well, now to see if the Detroit Mountain Recreation Area could become a reality, it's going to come down to that grant money. Now, the grant application has already been turned in. The 28th was the deadline to have it in. And sometime next month, we hope to find out whether or not that grant money is accepted. And there are actually a couple grants the Detroit Mountain Recreation Area Group is applying for. So hopefully they won't get pigeonholed into one category or another. And even if that's approved, there's still going to be $2.6 million in private fundraising that needs to be done by the Detroit Mountain Recreation Area Group. But the reality is this is the closest we've ever been in 2.5+ years of having the Detroit Mountain Recreation Area back. At the public hearing held last week, before the City Council unanimously voted to go forth with this project and go forth with this partnership, 16 people spoke. All of them in favor of the project. Many had fond memories of being there. Many just wanted it back in the lakes area. Some even moved here, partly because the mountain was close by and were very disappointed when it closed. And others wanted it for economic purposes, to attract tourism, to get people here in the wintertime. We know we're a summer destination. Heck, 80,000 people don't show up in Becker County for WeFest for nothing. Now, I'm not going to say Detroit Mountain will be WeFest, not by any means, but it gives people another reason to come to town, and that's what we need. We just built these new strip malls here in the Veterans Memorial Parkway area. Most of them are full. There's a couple spaces that could yet to be filled, and we still have open space on Main Street. More people in town, more traffic. Maybe we can fill those spaces, or at least provide a very solid, stable business environment for those companies and for those small business owners that are already here in the Lakes area. I was happy to see the Detroit Lake City Council vote the way they did and move forward with this project. And hopefully the next pieces fall in place as well, and maybe in a couple years we can enjoy the mountain again. They say it'll cash flow itself at about $32,000 a year to maybe as much as $60,000 a year, depending on the projected number of people using it. And time will tell, and we will see. I think in time, though, as was mentioned by many people in the Detroit Mountain Recreation Area, if this goes through, it will be thought of in a similar fashion as the City Beach, the City Golf Course, or possibly the Detroit Lakes Community and Cultural Center. There's a guarantee of 5 years to make sure it cash flows. And if after that it doesn't, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? I think Becker County and the city of Detroit Lakes itself will gain a park right here in town. And I think we can enjoy that. Public space is always good. It gives us another opportunity to enjoy the lakes area.